So happy to be here. My name is Angela Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman. We have a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown for you guys. Again, my name is Angela Petrilli, here with the fine folks at Fishman, doing a brand new live stream guitar lesson, folks. It's going to be a lot of fun. So today's lesson, I've gotten a few requests for this one, and this is one I've selfishly really wanted to teach for a long time because I absolutely love this song. We're going to be learning Lake of Fire as covered by Nirvana on the very iconic MTV Unplugged that they did. This is originally a Meat Puppets tune, so we're going to be learning this today. So what I would like you guys to do before we get started is I want you to put your guitar tuned down a half step, so in half step tuning. So what does that mean? So we know the strings E, A, D, G, B, and E, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to tune them down a half step. So E turns to E flat, A string, A flat, D string, D flat, G, G flat, B to B flat, and the high E to E flat. Now those of you, I know we have a tuner, and the tuners don't always have flat. So if you're not sure, like, wait a second, I'm tuning and it says D sharp, that's where you want to be. So it could be either D sharp, G sharp, right? C sharp. We have the G tuned down to F sharp, the B tuned down to C sharp, and then the high E tuned down to D sharp. So if it's easier for the tuners to do that way, you could do that too. But tune down a half step, because if you don't do that, it's going to sound a little wacky. So before we get started here, folks, you know I like to ask a question. So let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite MTV Unplugged. And again, we are live today, folks, and this is a live Q&A too, so if you guys have questions throughout the hour, by all means, type them in the comments, and I'm going to get to as many of those as we can. So, question of the day, where you're tuning in from, and your favorite MTV Unplugged concert. All right, so here we go, folks. Here is Lake of Fire. So that's the tune we're going to be learning today. Great chords and a fantastic solo based on the G blues scale at the end. Really, really fun song here today. Really excited to teach it to you. So let's go ahead and get started here. Again, Reckless575, thank you so much. The unofficial, those of you who've been watching, the unofficial secretary of the Riff Rundown, Reckless575, thank you so much for keeping everybody informed on the tuning and the daily question. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much. I was just going to say that, Dean. Thank you very much. My band, we just released our new single, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to the chat so you guys can check it out. It's called Ghost Inside a Frame, and you can listen to it anywhere you like to stream. Dean, I'm glad you like the tune. We were really proud of it as well. So thanks for the shout out. I really appreciate that. Good stuff indeed. All right, so let's get started. So what we're gonna do here, again, we are tuned down a half step. Let's look at this intro. It looks and sounds like this. I'll play it a little bit slower than I did at top. Let's start there. That's the first half. So what we're gonna do here, lots of bar chords today, folks, so just FYI, stick with it, it's gonna sound great. So your guitar's in tune down a half step. What we're gonna do here is this. You're gonna get your first finger across all 6 strings at the 3rd fret. Now, I know we're tuned down a half step. I'm gonna refer to these chords as if we are in standard, just to keep things easy, okay? So first finger, you want the tip of that first finger on that G note there, 3rd fret of the E string. Do I know that this is in fact a G flat? Yes, but we're gonna keep it easy today. We're gonna get our 3rd finger here, placing that on the 5th fret of the A string. That would be our D note, and then you're gonna get your 4th finger there, 5th fret of the D string. Now, what we wanna do here, we also wanna get the 3rd fret of that G string and that B string. So it's gonna be a G minor chord, like that. All right? Now, throughout the song, and I encourage you, if you haven't heard this song yet, or you wanna go and listen back after this lesson, sometimes they hit all the strings, and sometimes they don't. So go ahead and listen for those small details there. But what we're gonna do here, go ahead and strum all the strings from the E all the way to the B string, just like that. Okay? And this is a little trick too. We're not using our 2nd finger in this chord, we're not pressing down on any strings, but if you wanted to lay it across, or on top of rather, that 1st finger, to help you get a little bit of a stronger bar, you can go ahead and do that too if you'd like, all right? And we're gonna strum that 2 downward strokes here using a pick, and then we're gonna do a nice down, up, down, or up, down, up. Yeah, so it sounds like this. Let's do that again. And one more time. All right. From there, we're gonna bring this entire shape back. We're gonna play an F5 chord. So what does that mean? It's just another name for an F power chord. What we're gonna do is we're only playing the top 3 strings. So that F, that C, 3rd fret of the A string, and that next F there on the 3rd fret, the D string. So just like that. And you're gonna strike this 2 times. 2 downward strokes, not too bad, okay? So we've got this so far. Okay, just like that, let's do that again. Again, notice when I'm playing these bar chords, and it's something I always like to mention, little detail here, but very important. Notice how you don't see my thumb, okay? I want to keep that thumb in the middle of the neck, all right? I want to create a really nice foundation for that bar chord. Notice how when I start to bring my thumb up, notice how my hand begins to shrink. That stretch, it starts to shrivel. That we don't want. We want to keep our hands, right? Nice to the frets. Getting all those strings and those notes sounding nice and clear, all right? So that's what happens there. The next chord is gonna be a B flat. So what we're gonna do here, just check it out. This shape, okay, we're gonna bring it down. Every finger goes down a string, meaning first finger is gonna be on the 1st fret of the A string. It's our B flat, that'll be the root. You're gonna get your 3rd finger here, and I'm gonna move that pinky back, all right? 3rd finger across the 3rd fret of the D, G, and B string. So we've got okay, and we're gonna strike that B flat 1 time. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that again nice and slowly here. Now, if you wanted to play that B flat, say as a B flat 5 power chord, you can do that too. All right, so I'll leave that up to you. From there, instead of playing the full G minor chord, we're we're going to play a G5. So what does this mean? We're only playing the top 3 strings. We're playing the E string at the 3rd fret, that G note, 5th fret of the A string, that D note, and then the 2nd G note on the 5th fret of the D string. And we're just going to strike those 3 strings, striking the G5 chord 2 times. So here's how everything sounds so far. Let's do that one more time, the whole thing, and then we'll get into that riff, which is really great. Now, the riff sounds like this. Really, really cool bluesy riff. Simple to do. The technique, take a little bit of practice, all right? But you can do it. What we're going to do here is you're going to get your 2nd finger, placing that on the 5th fret of the G string. So, or just like that, you're going to get your 3rd finger here, placing that 5th fret of the B string. B as in boy. So it should sound like this. Okay? And you're going to bend. You're going to like bend and wiggle it, if that makes sense. See how I'm doing that there? Playing the notes, striking the 2 notes at the same time, just like that. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Let's do that again. And again. From there, you're going to get your 1st finger only, placing that across the 3rd fret of the G string and the B string. And you're going to pull off, and if you can get that open G string in there, great. When I was listening to the performance, felt like I heard that a couple times. Like that. Okay? So. And if you don't get that pull off, it's okay too. It'll still sound cool, but it's kind of bluesy when you get that. All right? So, let's go ahead and do this nice and slowly with the chords, including the riff at the end. Here we go. Riff. All right, let's do that again. All right, it's just like that. Let's play it a little bit faster. So there it is. Now the 2nd half sounds like this. With another cool riff at the end. Awesome stuff. So we're going back to that G5 chord, to the F5, to our B flat. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to play a C over G chord. So we have that B flat. We're going to bring up that shape a whole step. Why? B flat and C, they're a whole step apart, right? So your 1st finger, okay, where C is on the 3rd fret of the A string. But to make this a C over G chord, all you're going to do, bring that 1st finger up to play the 3rd fret of the E string too. So that's G. So what you want to do here, and how I like to play this, is you're going to get your 3rd finger, placing that on the 5th fret of the D string, and your 4th finger on the 5th fret of the G string. Notice how this sounds. Cool chord, right? So that's what we're going to play there. So in context, it sounds like this. back to F5, 2 strikes, and 1 strike on the G5. Let's do this again nice and slowly here. The second half, I'll play it through slowly a couple times, follow along. Okay, let's do that again. Now in context with part 1, let's go ahead and do it. Riff. Okay. Now the next part here, G5 to F5 to G5, and then that cool riff. So that next part sounds like this. Riff. All right, so again, G5, F5, G5, okay? Now let's look at this riff here. Again, it sounds like, oh my gosh, it might be kind of tough. It's really not. It's one shape, and we're just moving that shape up and down the fretboard. All right? So what we're going to do here, as far as you want to slide that, I guess I'm sliding it from the 3rd fret of the G string, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay? So get your first finger on the 3rd fret of that G string. You're going to slide it all the way up to the 10th fret. Okay? That G string right there. And don't worry, if you have an acoustic that doesn't have a cutaway, you can play all this stuff. Don't worry about it. From there, you're going to get your second finger, placing that on the 11th fret of the B string. Okay, so it's going to sound like this. And from there, you're going to alternate between the G string at the 10th fret and the B string at the 11th. So in context, it sounds like this. Let's do that again. Just the riff only. Okay, it's just like that. Now, I told you the shape doesn't change, okay? So the shape here, we're going to bring it back. Your first finger should be on the 5th fret of the G string. Your second finger should be on the 6th fret of the B string. And you're going to alternate those notes too. G string, B string, G string, B string. Now, if you notice here with my picking hand, I'm alternate picking this. I'm striking the top of the G string and then striking the bottom of the B string, going upward. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that again from the top. And from there, all we're going to do next to complete this riff is we're just going to play that phrase there, that dyad, up a whole step, meaning your first finger should be on the 2nd fret of the G string and your second finger should be the 8th fret of the B string. Okay? So that's what's happening there. All right, and again, this is live Q&A, so if you guys have questions, please put them in the comments and I'll get to as many of them as we can after this like intro verse section. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the top of the riff. I'll play it through slowly and we're gonna do this a couple times, all right? So follow along, folks. Hope you're having fun. Here we go. Again. Okay, one more time. So just like that. Not too bad, right? Not too bad. That's what's happening there. So in context, let's go through the whole entire thing from the very, very top with those power chords. All right, here we go. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. If you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use for these lessons, be sure to click the link in the video description too. There's lots of cool stuff happening. And again, if you are new, absolutely welcome. Welcome. Happy you're here. Welcome to this wonderful community of people with that common goal of playing music and uplifting each other. So thank you all so much for being so great in the chats. I love the camaraderie here. It's really, really cool. So know that I see it and I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so, so much. All right, here we go from the top. Riff. Again, from the top. So that's what's happening there. That's our intro. Now, lucky for us, in the verses, it's very, very similar. All right, so where it says, where do bad folks go when they die, right? It's all those same chords and those same riffs. So we're killing two birds with one stone here, which is really lovely. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that verse, okay, without the commentary. So here it is. So there's one little bit that's different when we look at the verse. We go back to that B flat before we get to the G5. So I will highlight that section. It sounds like this. Before we get into that riff and the verse, sounds like this. Pretty cool, right? I'll do that again. Notice how I'm keeping them all as those power chords. All right, so again, it's that same chord shape. We're just moving that shape to the appropriate notes. Right, so we have G and D, A and C, and B flat and F. All right, so let's do that again in context here. Guitars and Coffee, thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying the lesson. I love this song, can you tell? It's a fun one to teach. All right, so here we go from the top of the verse, okay? And I'll let you know when that B flat's gonna come around, all right? So follow along. Riff. Do that again. Verse. Here comes the B flat. Riff. Stuff, right? Isn't that fun? So I'm gonna go ahead, let's give our hands a break. I know we've been doing some bar chords here, so we'll give our hands just a little bit of a break. If you guys have questions, also I'd like to see what some of your favorite MTV Unplugged shows are, so please type them in if you haven't yet, and let me know where you're tuning in from. Let's see here. We've got San Jose in the house. Thank you so much. Oh, glad you're enjoying Ghost Inside a Frame. Thank you, Kirk. Appreciate that. Oh, we got Marcel from the Netherlands. His favorite MTV Unplugged is the Pearl Jam episode. Solid episode. My personal favorite is the Alice in Chains MTV Unplugged. I just love it. I think they're all awesome, but man, that one really resonates with me. I think that's such a great one. I gotta do riff rundown of some of those songs for sure. All right, we got Vancouver in the house. We got Italy in the house. Amsterdam, Ocean City. Thank you so much for being here. Got fans of the Clapton MTV Unplugged. Another classic. Another classic. Thank you all so much. This is great. All right, we got Durham, North Carolina in the house. Irish Hills, Michigan. Thank you, Bill. Glad you're getting stuff out of these lessons. Wonderful. Beautiful Minnesota. Another Bill. Thank you for being here. Great. We got Connecticut in the house. Very, very cool. We got Brazil. Another fan of the Eric Clapton Unplugged. Good stuff. Yes, got lots of fans of the Clapton Unplugged. This is great. Very, very cool indeed. Very cool indeed. This is great, guys. Thank you so much. Yes. So this is my trusty Martin 0017E. It's a good one. It sounds great with this kind of stuff too. It's a mahogany back and side guitar with the spruce top. It's got just that kind of sound. It's great. Thank you all so much. This is great. All right. Santa Fe, New Zealand. Thanks for being here. Very great. Thank you all so much. All right. Very cool. Thanks, everybody. All right, so let's see. So that is the intro and the verse we have there. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at that chorus section. So the chorus looks and sounds like this. We're going to get a little bit of a break from bar chords, sort of. There are a couple in here, but we'll have a little bit of a break. So that chorus sounds like this. There we go. That's what I wanted it to sound like. Okay, bar chords get the best of us, guys. All right, so let's look at the chorus here again. We have a D minor chord here. So what we're going to do here, these first three fingers, we're going to play it in the open position. We're going to get our first finger on the first fret of the E string. Again, D, F, and A. Those are the notes that build this D minor chord. Again, I know we're in half-step tuning, but I'm going to call it like we're not. Okay, so D, F, and A is D minor. Okay, first finger on the first fret of the E string, that's F. Second finger reaching up to the second fret of the G string, that's your A notes, that's your 5, and then you're gonna get your third finger here. Third fret of the B string is the D note. So, should look and sound like that if you're in 2 down, half step. That's what it'll sound like. All right, so that one there, D minor, done. The next one here is going to be a B flat sus2. Really beautiful chord. I'm going to go ahead and play it here. Interesting chord, isn't it? Got a nice openness. I love a sus2 chord. So what we're going to do here to play that, so you're going to get your first finger across the first fret. I know playing bar chords at the first fret can be a little tough for some of us, but stick with it. Again, remember that thumb at the back of the neck. If you start to see your thumb creep up, it's going to make playing this chord a lot more difficult. So get that thumb back of the neck. All right, set a good foundation, right? We can't build a house on a shaky foundation. We want the foundation to be nice and strong. So have a second look at that technique, all right? So we're gonna get this third finger here, third fret of the D string, which would be an F note, and then you have your fourth finger on the third fret, the G string, another B flat. What we're also gonna do here is we wanna get that C note, and even that F note if we can get it. I think it's quite beautiful. So it's a tough bar chord, but man, when you can get it, it's great. Okay, so pretty much what's happening here is we're strumming from the A string all the way down to the high E. Just like that, all right? So we've got D minor to that B flat sus2. Back to D minor to an A major. Now, there are many different ways to play A major. This is the way that I like to play it. My second finger placing it on the second fret of the D string, that's the E note. My third finger, second fret of the G string, that's A. And then my fourth finger on the second fret of the B string, which is C sharp. Again, A, C sharp, E, 1, 3, 5. That's how you build that major chord. All right? And you get that high E in there too. So strum from the A string downward on this chord. Now, again, there are many different ways to play it. That's the way I like to play the A chord. All right. From there, we're going to go back to D minor. And then what we're going to do next, we're going to go back to that B flat sus2. However, we're going to add a bass note in it. We're going to add that 5. In this case, it's an F note. So what I want you to do here to do that, we have that B flat sus2 we played a moment ago, right? So just like this. And all I want you to do, first finger, just move it up one more string so you get that F note engaged there at the first fret of the E string. And you're going to play everything. Again, a really beautiful chord. Okay? From there, we're going to go to a C sus2 over G, and you guessed it, everything is a whole step up. So bring this shape here, this B flat sus2 over F. Okay? And now that's B sus2 over F sharp, and then C sus2 over G. And again, you're going to play all the strings here. Okay? So let's just work on that here again. I know it's a lot of bar chords that maybe they're kind of tough, but we're going to go through it slowly. Okay? So we're just going to end it there on that C sus2 over G. All right? So here we go, nice and slowly here. Sus2 over F, C sus2 over G. Okay, let's do that again without the commentary. Here we go. One more time, a little faster. Okay, so that's what's happening there. Now the next chord, guess what? The shape, we're going to bring it up again. This C sus2 over G, bringing it up a whole step to make this a D minor over A. So all we're going to do here, bring that shape up a whole step. I have squeaky strings. I should probably change these strings after this. And then I'm going to get my second finger on the 6th fret of the B string. So that's going to make this a minor chord. The second we bring that second finger down on that 6th fret, it is now a D minor, and no longer a D sus2. Okay? So that's what we want it to sound like. Okay? Pretty beautiful chord. And then there's a little riff that happens there. I was trying to do it as the full chord, but I may need to move my finger down. Like that. So that little riff there comes from this chord, okay? So we've got the D minor over A. You're going to let that ring. Strum it one time. And then if you want to bring that first finger down, unless you could do the riff with the whole bar chord, which is fantastic, but I want this to sound nice and clear. What we're going to do here is you're going to lift that second finger up. You're going to play the 5th fret of that B string, and then you're going to hammer on with your second finger on the 6th fret of the B string, right? So it's going to sound like this, and then pull off again to play that 5th fret of the B string, which would be an E note, but in our tuning it's an E flat. Okay, so. And then from there, strike the 7th fret of the G string, and 7th fret of the D string. So the whole riff will sound like this. I'll do that again. So just like that. So that happens at the end of the chorus. So in context, it sounds like this, the entire thing. Again, in context, a little bit slower here. Follow along. That's what's happening there. All right, so in context, let's go ahead and review everything so far, and then we're gonna get into everybody's favorite part, which is the solo. The solo is so great here. And again, my beginners who are watching, maybe you're first getting into like blues scales and pentatonics, this is a great one to look at. It's a great one to look at. There are some parts that are probably gonna come very simple, and there's some parts that might take a little time, but again, it's always good to, you know, push ourselves a little bit out of our comfort zone. That's where the growth happens. So it's really good stuff indeed. All right, so let's look at the very, very top. I'm gonna play it through just a little bit slower and follow along. All right, so here we go. From the very, very tip top of the tune. Here we go. Verse. Turn around with the B flat. Riff. Chorus. So there it is there. Again, really, really great stuff. And as always, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It does indeed help the cause. Click that like button on the video. Helps the algorithm and all that stuff, whatever the magic of YouTube, whatever they do over there. It helps a ton. And again, when you like that with the algorithm, it sends these videos to people who are also learning guitar. So again, with these lessons, this is me giving back to all of you. Music has been so good to me, so it feels really good to give it back. So let's get that algorithm moving and sending all the good vibes to all the guitar students who are out there, including myself. I'm still a student. Will always be a student of the craft in terms of guitar. So happy to have you guys on the journey with me. All right, so that's what's happening there in terms of the intro, the verse, and the chorus, all of that good stuff. So let's get to the good part. Let's get to the solo. So the solo here, again, is based off of that G blues scale, all right? And this starts at the 2-minute, 4-second mark. And again, this was covered by Nirvana, but some of the Meat Puppets were playing the song with them on this MTV Unplugged. Kurt Kirkwood is the author of this song and guitar player from the Meat Puppets. And again, just really tasty, tasty riffs here. So I'm gonna go ahead and play through the solo here from the very, very top, including some of the chords that are behind it. So it's like this. So that's the solo. Isn't it great? Really, really fun one to play here. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So we're going to break it up into chunks. So as you noticed at the very top, we were doing this kind of chugging power chords here, the G, F, and that B flat. And we're going to repeat that. Now, when palm muting, I'm going to talk about that real quickly here. This part of your hand, see? So you have your hand like this part from the side, okay? I like to line it up with the saddle for me. So I do this. I'm not on top of it, I'm just behind it. If I move my elbow there, see that? So I'm just in front of it, and that's how you want it to sound. So if you wanted to practice that first, see how it's thuddy? It's not this. That we don't want. So when you've got that nice, like compressed, like thuddiness, then you add the chord. Listen. Nice and big and heavy, right? Versus, see how they're different? Again, it's all about those peaks and valleys and the dynamics. This is another great part about this song. All right, so pretty cool stuff. Again, G5, F5, B flat 5, back to G, 5. Okay, so here's the solo. And what we're gonna do here is that riff happens 2 times before the solo, okay? So keep that in mind. I'll do it twice for context. Don't forget to alternate pick. Now let's look at the first part. We're just gonna start there, okay? Again, think bluesy. This is a bluesy solo. Get the first finger, sliding it from the 2nd fret of the B string to the 3rd fret of the B string. So 2nd to 3rd fret of the B string. You're gonna bring that first finger down. It's gonna be flat, also playing the 3rd fret of the high E. And then you're gonna go back to the 3rd fret of the B string. I'm gonna do this slowly. And don't forget to alternate pick, okay? From there, get your 3rd finger bending, I don't know, quarter bend? Yeah. At the 6th fret of that B string. And then ending the phrase, 3rd fret of the high E. So it's going to sound like this in context. Again. And you don't need to do the vibrato unless you want to. It's pretty quick. Again. And one more time. Like that. All right. Now the next bit here, part 2, is going to sound like this. Okay. We're working our way up the scale. So we've got 3rd finger on that 6th fret of the B string. You're going to get your 2nd finger, 5th fret of the D string. Your 1st finger will then go to the 3rd fret. Okay, in this case that would be a B flat. Then 3rd finger, 5th fret of the D string, G to F, 3rd fret of the D string. Okay, I'm gonna play that through, just that part from the 2nd half. Sounds like this. Again. And last time. Now, the walk down with the flat 5, that's how we know it's a blues scale. Okay, we're gonna get our 3rd finger here, 5th fret of the A string, 2nd finger, 4th fret of the A string, 1st finger, 3rd fret of the A string. So we've got that, which is a great walk down. We all love it. From there, reaching with the pinky, 6th fret of the E string, and you're gonna hit this twice. Okay, that G note, 3rd fret of the E string. I'm gonna play through this slowly. This is only the 2nd part. Here we go. And again. Now with part 1. Now a little faster for context. Let me do that again. Let me do that again. We're live, folks. We're live. So nice and slowly, part 1, part 2. Here's part 1. Part 2. All right. Now part 3 sounds like this. Again, now we're walking down the scale. So first finger G note. 4th finger reaches to the 6th fret, that B flat. 1st finger 3rd fret, 2nd finger 4th, and 3rd finger 5th on the A string. Good stuff, right? Now what we're going to do there, 1st finger 3rd fret of that D string, just hit that note by itself, and then hammer on the next time to the 5th fret. Okay, let's go through that part slowly. One more time. Now, 1st finger, I want you to place it on the 3rd fret of the G string and the B string. You're going to bend down, play them together, and kind of pull it down ever so slightly, like that. And then you're going to complete the phrase 5th fret of that D string. So here's the whole thing nice and slowly. One more time. And one more time for good luck, why not? Part 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. Let's do that again. Part 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. And a little bit faster for context, we'll include the first riff at the top because it's so great. Okay, great stuff. Here is part 4. There we go. And part 5. I'll include them both. All right, so here we go. So here's the next bit. Again, super bluesy. We're going to get our 2nd finger here, sliding it up to the, so 5th fret is where you want that 2nd finger to be, sliding it up to the 7th fret of that G string. And then your 1st finger, get ready to play the 6th fret of that B string. And you're going to strike it twice, both of those strings. So it'll sound like this. Again. From there, you're going to get the 2nd finger that's at the 7th fret. You're going to slide it back to the 5th fret of that G string. And then get your 1st finger, 3rd fret of the G string. Let's go through that slowly. Again. Last time. Okay, so just like that. From there, you're going to get your third finger here, placing it on the 5th fret of that D string. Strike that twice. So now, with those 2 added notes, here it is in context. Again, super bluesy scale. Great stuff. Okay, again. From there, you're going to bring your first finger, place it on the 3rd fret of the D string. 3rd finger now goes to the 5th fret of the A string. Strike this D note twice. Don't forget to alternate pick. Okay. Let's do that again. Again, that was part 4. One more time. Okay. Now next, what we're going to do here is we're going to repeat that phrase twice. The phrase that is going to be repeated is 3rd fret of the D string and 5th fret of the A string. We're going to do that twice. Then from there, 1st finger, 3rd fret of the A string, C, reaching to the B flat, 6th fret of the E string, and we're going to hit this G note 3 times. And that was part 5. So I'm going to play through this slowly, parts 4 and parts 5, okay? Let me know how everybody's doing, okay? So here we go. Okay, so just like that. Let's do that again from part 4 to part 5, and then we'll do the first 5 parts together. And again, if you're enjoying the lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Helps the cause, everybody. Here we go. Okay. From the top. Okay, good stuff. Part 6 sounds like this. Again, super bluesy, folks. I know. Keep me posted. How's everybody doing with this? I know it's a lot of... Now we're in like the intermediate, more advanced folks in this part of the lesson. So I'm going to go through that again. Sliding that 2nd finger from the 5th fret to the 7th fret of the G string. 1st finger goes to the 6th fret of the B string. And you're going to slide it back. To the best of my ear, when I was listening to it, that's what it sounded like he was doing. Because we end up going back here in the next phrase. So let me show you how to do that. So from there, we're going to repeat that motif that we had at the very, very top of the solo. 1st finger, 2nd fret of the B string, sliding up to the 3rd fret. Then striking that 3rd fret of the high E. Going back to that B string. From there, 3rd or 4th finger reaching to the 6th fret of the B string. Back to the 3rd fret. Okay, So far it sounds like this. Part 6. Again, nice and slowly, part 6. From there, first finger, 3rd fret of the G string to the 5th fret. Bring that first finger up, 3rd fret of the D string, striking the 5th fret now, twice. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that again. One more time. Now, we're going to do this for the next part. Really cool little riff there. Again, that first finger on the 3rd fret of the G string and the B string. Okay? Giving it a little bit of a downward tug there. Hammering onto the 5th fret of that D string. Then going back to the 3rd fret, the G string, bringing the first finger, 3rd fret of the D string, hammering on to that 5th fret. So here's the whole phrase without any commentary. I'll play it through a little bit slowly, and we've got 2 more parts after this, and we are done. Again, if you're enjoying the lessons, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. You can check me out on Instagram, Angela Petrilli Music, on my website, angelapetrillimusic.com, on Spotify, Angela Petrilli and the Players. All of that good stuff, folks. All right, so here we go. Here is part 6, nice and slow. Okay. From there, we have part 7. Again, those motifs of those blues notes that keep coming back. It's great. So we're going to be doing that twice. That bend and that pull from that 3rd fret of the G string and B string together, resolving on the 5th fret of that D string. We're going to do that twice. Now from there, we're going to go to the first finger, 3rd fret of that D string, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 3rd finger, 5th fret of the A string. Woo! It's Saturday, folks. We got that. So, and then we got our walk down there. 5th fret, 4th fret, 3rd fret. Okay, let's do that again. And then 6th fret, E string, first finger, 3rd fret. Okay, again, I'll play this through a little bit quicker. Here we go. Part 7. Again. And what we're going to do here for the last bit, part 8, is going to sound like this. It's almost like the reverse. So from there, like we're playing that G blues scale, G, B flat, C, D flat, D. We're going to strike that 3rd fret of the D string, that F note twice, hammering onto the 5th fret. From there, first finger, 3rd fret of that A string, B flat, 6th fret, to G. I'll play that through slowly. Let's do that again. That's the solo. That's the whole thing. I'm going to play it through slowly. Part 1, all the way through part 8. Here we go. Slowly. Part 4. part 6. Part 7. Part 8. So there's a solo. I'll play through it one time quickly, and that's the end of the lesson, folks. This has been so much fun. Again, if you're enjoying the lessons, I'd really love you to subscribe to the channel. It would absolutely help the cause indeed. And those of you in LA, I'll be playing with my band, Angela Petrilli and the Players, for our EP release show at the Mint in Los Angeles. Tickets are on my website at angelapetrilli.music.com, so you can go ahead and check that out. All right, so here's a solo one more time, folks. Here we go. Let me do it again. Let me get the timing of it. From the top. Repeated. And that is the solo. And that is Lake of Fire, a really, really great song out of the 90s. Again, I hope you all enjoyed this lesson. It was such a joy to teach this one. It's one of my favorite songs out of the 90s and one of my favorite guitar solos from the 90s too. It's a really, really fun one to play. So again, wishing you all so much success in your musical journey. Thanks for hanging out with me week after week. Be sure to check out my new single, Ghost Inside a Frame. You can check it out on Spotify and everywhere you stream your music, folks. And the EP will be out on May 5th, 2022. Really excited about it. So thank you all very, very much. And I will see you guys next time. Happy playing, everybody.